all the attention. Although customary, I don't expect this level of attention in the near future. Perhaps it was earned, though. Working through school, growing my education, maybe I deserve congratulations. Though it is interesting how the attention you get is directly correlated with the kind of work you're doing and how the people around you perceive it. I feel like specifically as a boy, and as I grow into a man, I feel a need to earn the attention of others by achieving something interesting, things that garner respect. But perhaps actions, noble actions that go unnoticed, with humility are the greatest honor. Actions that are only known between myself and God. Jesus said, "It is better to pray in secret, so as to not gain glory for oneself in the eyes of men." But perhaps more so, this emphasizes that a life lived for God, regardless of who is watching, is a good life. And that is what it truly means to be a warrior. In my life, I feel like I've had an interesting switch. Growing up, I had several older siblings who were all praised for their academics, athleticism, and social skills. I've had a lot to live up to. However, instead of trying to live up to the expectations, I assumed that I would naturally inherit these. Without realizing the work it would require, I developed quite an ego and assumed that I was just better. But God humbled me, showing me the natural consequences of putting myself above others, and taught me to instead prioritize respect for others and their capabilities. I saw the fruits of this in many areas of my life, sports in particular, and it's interesting now that I primarily receive compliments on my character and selflessness. Or maybe this is a lack of talent, but... I did not take this journey alone. There were people leading me and following alongside me. I'd like to thank some of those people. First of all, my parents. They brought me into this world, and I appreciate all the investments that I put into me. My mom for going through the tedious effort of raising me, and my older siblings, that's a total of 13. She's the strongest woman I know. Even just this past week, preparing for graduation, my mom gave me a list of about 4 things to do. I asked, "Is that it?" And she said, "No, there's 30 other things, but it's all I can expect you to do." I'd like to thank my dad for being a role model in my life. He spent considerable time teaching, but also showing me how to live, to equip me for my future. He also took steps to be involved in my life. He coached our basketball team this past season exclusively to teach me. I appreciate him, and he's the kind of man I would wish to emulate. I'd like to thank my peers. 5 boys who have stood beside me these past couple of years and continue to inspire me. The boys are Nathaniel Mason, Luke Greschel, Baron Colbert, Dade Holmes, and Henry Noble. Nate inspires me. He knows what he wants, and through thick or thin, you know he'll get it. Luke as well. Anything he puts his mind to, he excels at it. Baron has a dream, and he strives to achieve it, working as hard as he can. Dade always keeps you on your toes, looking for a chip in your armor, ready to strike. And then Henry. Henry has the noblest heart. Working alongside them has been amazing, and I can see that they all have potential to be great. I'd also like to thank my teachers. I've had many teachers, but for the sake of time, I'll list just a few. Mrs. Chiswick. She really puts in so much effort into teaching. She teaches several of the junior high and senior high classes, and she has a great passion for her teaching. Her patience is only rivaled by the enormous size of her heart for God. Pastor Mason. He sacrifices his spare time in running the school. On top of all of his other responsibilities as a pastor and a father, I've never heard him complain once. Instead, he's always joyful and gives glory to God. One One more person I'd like to thank. My brother Justin. He's 17 years older than I am. I've spent 2 summers working for him in his stonemasonry business. And with all the time I've spent with him, he didn't tell me how to conduct myself with maturity. He showed me. And if I ever was being foolish, he ignored me, causing me to strive for his approval. I really appreciate him. Coming up this summer, I have the opportunity to attend a missions trip to Anchorage, Alaska. There I will spend some time sharing with students on campus there. It will be a missions trip, and it'll be my first missions trip, and I'm excited to see what God has in store for me there. Coming this fall, I plan to work full-time. I've never been very particular on a certain career, but I'm willing to do pretty much anything that I deem worth the effort. In short, I'll do whatever works. For now, that means working in trades, honest work, and we'll see where God takes me in the future.